I talk a lot about the power of focused intent in relation to the house healing work that I do for clients. After all, if focused intent can help ease, for example, the depressive influence of a property on a person, then it must be worth looking into, right? So what exactly is focused intent? That's what we're looking at today. Hello there. The chances are that you're here because you're interested in the power of intent, intentional living, and these other aspects of conscious and mindful living. I use focused intent to communicate with the management upstairs to assist people in my house healing work. It's just one aspect of the work that I do that you can also practice in your own lives every day and see how it works for you. Other techniques include meditation, mindfulness and dowsing. So if that sounds like the sort of thing that you might be interested in, then click subscribe, click the grey bell icon to get notified every time we upload a video or do a live Q&A. And do pop along to those live Q&As, 3:30 GMT on a Monday afternoon, middle 2 Mondays of a month most often. Now then, my name's Tim Walter. I'm a house healer and an alternative life coach. I often seem to be asking you to sit in a meditation and use your focused intent to do some emotional energy clearing on yourselves or whatever the issue is that needs attending. And of course, in my house healing work, it's focused intent that I'm utilising when I ask the management upstairs to help clear a person's house of unwanted and detrimental aspects. So first off, what is intent? Well, intention is that thought that comes to you. It's something that you want to achieve. It's your aim, your goal, your target. If you're sitting in a chair and you want a cup of something to drink, then you have to set your intention to get up and get that drink. It's the planning of the action to achieve the result. The intention is the thought, I shall go and get a glass of water. The intention is also how you go about and get that glass of water. Do you go out quietly with the intention of not waking up the baby, for example, as it might be asleep in its crib? Or do you go out noisily because actually you're not concerned about waking the baby because they've had enough sleep? There's no baby here, by the way. Those days are long gone for us. In energy work, the intention is setting the aim of achieving a change for a person to help them move on and gain a more balanced vantage point in life, or enable them to see for themselves what needs to be done. All the healing work that we do as house healers is done in alignment with divine will. So we have the intention to do our part for the client, but ultimately we're asking the divine, God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, to determine what it is that's best for the person and to work with them in their circumstance to help the client see it. House healing is about helping somebody step back into their power. The easiest way to think of intent is summed up in the well-known saying, it's not what you do that counts, it's how you do it. So when healing, for example, the how is to have a heartfelt desire to connect as well as possible with your honest aim of helping a fellow human being to a greater sense of well-being. So when healing, we do so with utmost respect and with the recognition that we're entering into a sacred act of requesting help from an energy source that we are unable to fully comprehend. The intention is that we're asking for positive change for somebody else, but I'm asking a higher power to enact that change. So my focus goes towards what I perceive to be that higher power. Once again then, just to repeat this, the intent is the way that we ask. And the focused part is required because the act of tuning into the highest power, in other words, in actually gaining the connection, is one that requires us to concentrate, to be still, to be as relaxed as possible, both in mind and body, and to trust. This enables us to align ourselves as closely as we can to an aspect of the divine that is within us. It's within all of us, this God aspect. Another way of describing focused intent may well be to say that it is simply prayer. Now, the big thing that is really important here is that there are many ways of connecting to the creative forces of the subtle world around us. And what I want to stress is that we're connecting always at the very highest level we can, and we are setting our intention to work with the greatest good. Entering into working with subtle energies of creation is not something you want to take lightly, which is why it most certainly isn't cool and it certainly isn't special. Everybody can do it, But it has aspects that are a little bit dangerous to work with if we don't do it in the right ways. So it might be dangerous to work with energies that might make you feel uncertain, or to enter into this sort of practice with any degree of fear. If you're fearful, then you're not operating at a high enough level to connect to the divine. What you'll do is you'll connect at some level a little bit lower down. You'll connect to the creative forces because we're all part of that energy. But as we know, where there's light, there's also dark. But in between, there's all the various graduations of grey. And that's really what you want to try and avoid. You want to be as close as possible to hitting the light. Witchcraft or spell casting, for example, works on intention too, but the intention is not always to connect to the divine. And often people are adding their ego energy into the mix as well. They're asking for things for their own benefit or self-satisfaction. These are ego-centered desires. Often people are also using their own creative energy to connect and shift perceptions. And using your own energy is a sure way to make yourself pretty unwell. But if you're able to take all this on board and you're able to use your heartfelt connection to access the greater subtle energy fields that exist through focused intent, then you can also add more power to your connection by using your own physical energy to top up that action. Now, what do I mean by that? Because I've just said, don't do it. What I mean is, I don't mean using the same aspect. I mean, what I mean is using the human energy, the physical energy, which really is movement, for example, kinetic energy. So this would be like movement or sound, speaking, singing, chanting, or making music. See, I mean, shamans use music and drumming in particular, but sometimes that drumming is used to enhance a trance-like state. And it's that trance state that you're looking to achieve in connecting to the management upstairs. Now, being focused for half an hour at a time will enable you to create change for somebody else, or for that matter, for the good of the planet as a whole. Holding a trance-like state in mindful self-awareness is, of course, called meditation. And that's something else I go on about here on this channel. And hopefully, though, what I've talked about today has helped you see why. So good luck, and I hope this has been helpful, and I will see you here next time for some more on dowsing, mindfulness, and creating harmony in your world by seeking balance in all things. So take care. Bye-bye now.